Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for the introducing the Ekahau Analyzer for February 6, 2020. This is our first, I guess, major product launch of the year. We are joined around the globe today by, of course, all of you attendees, which is really great to see. But we've got our folks joining us all the way from several different time zones. We've got Anssi and Mikko joining us from Helsinki.
Yeah.
I got from Helsinki.
Mikko's trying to hide from everybody right now.
He's trying to hide, yeah. We're covering the Helsinki time zone. We're also covering Reston, Virginia, San Antonio, Texas, Vancouver, British Columbia, more specifically to Tsawwassen, BC. And we're joined by Grant, who's already in tomorrow, because it's tomorrow, in Brisbane, Australia. All right, and I'm gonna, so for our guest speakers today, we've got our fearless leader of I guess
our product
R&D product team. We got Anssi and Mikko, and I'm going to, and of course I'm got my my special sidekick, which is Tawny. Who's also joining us here today. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to kind of hand over the reins to Anssi and Mikko, and welcome, gents. This is a really important day, and really excited to hear what you guys got to show the world today.
Awesome, thank you, Stu. So let me start this this launch session by telling you a quick story on why we are doing this launch and trying to reframe it a bit. So I was attending a great event, Cisco Live, last week, and I had the opportunity to speak at the front of the big audience. So there were about 500 people in the room, and I did a quick poll. So I asked basically people to raise their hands on how many bad Wi-Fi networks they had seen during 2019, so past 12 months. And I asked questions. I was assuming that it's about 10%, but actually it turned out to be much more. So I think the median answer was about 30% or more. So people actually in the room said that about 30% of the networks that they saw, Wi-Fi networks that they used in 2019, were bad. So according to Cisco statistics, there are about 500 million Wi-Fi networks globally. So that means that in that short survey, we came up with a number that there must be around 150 million bad networks out there. So that's a massive number, right? There's a huge amount of bad working or bad performing networks in all around the globe. Now, I did a quick follow-up question on this because I was a bit surprised. So I asked the people, so basically the audience was Wi-Fi experts. I asked them that how many of them would be comfortable in troubleshooting and fixing those bad networks that they saw. And this was also a bit surprised. So I think about 20 to 25% of the people raised their hands. So that means that actually even among the Wi-Fi professionals, most of the people are not comfortable in saying that they can troubleshoot and fix a network. So that's the reason we came up with a new product. So we call it the Analyzer, and some of you may have already heard about it, or some of you may have already seen about it. But it's basically designed really for troubleshooting, validating, and fixing those bad networks out there. So can you please move on, Steve? Okay, so before we go into those exciting details about the Analyzer, let me explain you first that how is it built and how are we, where is it based on. So as you may know, our portfolio is quite straightforward. So we have one single package, Ekahau Connect, which basically contains everything that an expert needs in order to build a high quality enterprise Wi-Fi network. So you already know Pro. It's the planning and designing tool that we have already launched some time ago. Last year we introduced the first and second version of Survey application, which is actually a huge improvement to how and changing entirely how surveys are being done. So basically, it's an iPhone and iPad application containing the autopilot survey functionality, utilizing the sensors of the device basically to automatically navigate when surveys are being performed, making the surveys much easier and much more safer to do. We're using the cloud on the back end to share the information, and now we are introducing the latest application and extension to the Connect package, which is the analyzer, and we call it modestly that it's the fastest, easiest, and the most accurate way to validate the Wi-Fi network. So the great news to all Connect subscribers is that it will not cost you a dime. The analyzer will be included in the Connect subscription, and as you may have already seen and you may already guessed, we are constantly investing more and more into developing the Connect package to be even better. So we are really going more towards mobility, as we are indicating in the picture here. So originally started with spectrum analyzers and separate antennas, and now more and more we are leveraging our existing measurement device and going more and more towards apps. So that's why the focus really on iPhone and iPad at the moment. Okay, can you please move on to next one? So we are using as a basis for the analyzer, we are using the most accurate Wi-Fi measurement device out there, which is called Ekahau Sidekick. So this is a really amazing unit. It contains 7 omnidirectional antennas, and it's basically designed to be carried around, and it basically runs constant, very accurate, or collects constant, very accurate measurements about the Wi-Fi networks in the surrounding environment. It's also really easy to carry. It's lightweight and it's rugged design. It has an all-day battery life, so you can easily carry it with you entire day. It contains basically a really advanced spectrum analyzer, and it basically enables then the transformation like we did in analyzer. So you can transform your smartphone or tablet into professional grade Wi-Fi tool. So Stu, can you please move on to next one?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's actually switching. It's just a little.
Ah, okay. It's a bit slow. Okay, so going more into details now, finally, that this is the basis where we are basing our analyzer application. So now going more into, again, more into mobility and convenience direction. So we have built in a set of functionality, I would say automation and validation functionality, to collect information from the surrounding environment and also interpret it in a way that it can be easily understood. So for example, we are collecting constantly a really high quality, high resolution spectrum measurements, which can be used to identify different interference sources. You can easily carry, again, the device with you because of the Sidekick. You don't really need a laptop. And as I mentioned, we paid attention really to automate and automate the collection and testing functionality, so that everything is being everything is visible and easily interpreted on your device's screen. So we are saying that it basically reduces the time to collect the data from your Wi-Fi networks up to 90% when you compare that to the traditional methods. Okay, should we take a closer look into how that actually looks like?
Absolutely.
So Mikko, you wanna scoot over?
Oh, no, this is fine. I don't know if you guys need to see me. So yeah, we're taking the way how you do troubleshooting. So the Analyzer app utilizes the power of highly accurate Ekahau Sidekick and the super smart algorithms of Ekahau Pro, and turns your mobile device, such as the iPhone or your iPad, to a professional grade Wi-Fi validation and troubleshooting tool. In spite of all the power, the app is actually extremely intuitive and very easy to use. So when you start the app, it will immediately start automatically testing your network against the predefined requirements. It gives you very, very clear, easy to understand pass-fail indication for the requirement that is failing. The troubleshoot, just follow the red. In the example, screen capture of signal strength and channel quality is failing. And when you tap those requirements, you get to see more details, what's exactly wrong with your network and why is it failing. The app automatically measures all the most important Wi-Fi metrics, such as the primary and secondary signal strength, SNR, channel utilization, channel quality, connectivity, and spectrum. Having all this intelligence available on your phone significantly reduces the complexity of Wi-Fi validation troubleshooting, which then of course shortens the potential network downtime and allows faster resolution time. Now, Anssi, recently you got to experience this yourself. How did it go?
That's right. That was my chance to prove myself as a Wi-Fi specialist, which I'm really not, but at least I had a chance to try.
But come on, you don't need to tell that to anyone. Because...
Yeah, actually, I was hoping to fool everybody with my story and with my video. Can you still click on the next one? We had a short video of my 4 minutes in the spotlight. So this is basically how the main screen looks like. So you have basically, just to tell you the story, we had a bunch of visitors coming to our office, and we handed them over access to our network, one of our networks called Ekahau Premium. And they were complaining about the quality of the Wi-Fi, which is shocking. I mean, we are presenting ourselves as Wi-Fi design experts. So it was kind of embarrassing. So I tried to remedy the situation. What I did was that I took my Sidekick unit, I connect my analyzer into it, and I tried to make some sense out of it. So I'm really not the Wi-Fi expert, but let me tell you the story that what I actually did. So I connected it, and here you can see I'm connected to Ekahau Premium. It's been tested against voice and data profiles, as you see on the bottom of the screen, and it's running 5 tests at the same time. So your signal strength, SNR, connectivity are all green, whereas the channel quality is red. So we follow the red and we click the red, and now I'm switching to 2.4 gigahertz channel here. So here I basically see all of my channels and then different kind of quality indicators related to all of them. So here you can see that the utilization on the channel 11 to which I'm connected to is not that high, but then you can see the noise is it's a borderline case. It's between yellow and red, green and red. But then the real problem is that there are actually 18 access points on this same channel. So we have 24 SSIDs and 18 access points on the same channel, and that is way too much. So there is a heavy channel overlap, and even though there is not much utilization, it's no way you can make the Wi-Fi good on that area. So you either have to reduce the access points or reconfigure them to a different channels or lower the transmission power in order to make it better. So I tried to find a better location for my contractors, or my visitors. So I started to walk around the office, and I test the connectivity and the responsiveness of the network by opening the connectivity view. So this is basically running a constant ping against the default gateway. So here you can see I'm moving in the office, and the performance is getting lower because we are getting closer to the area where we roam to a different access point. And then we can see that we actually move into the different access point that just happened now. So now we are connected to access point number 45. And now we can see that the connectivity is actually getting a little bit better. So one would assume that situation is now fixed. We wandered around the office. You can actually use this functionality to find better locations, or you could actually use it to find access points and rogue devices or rogue access points as well. So in this case, it seems to be that the situation is getting better, but it's actually not the entire truth. So I opened also the spectrum analysis now. Now you can see here the spectrum analysis for both of the bands. On the top, you can see 2.4, and on the bottom, you can see 5 gigahertz. And again, green means good, yellow is okay, red is bad, and in this case, black is death. So you can see that there is heavy spikes of interference in that area. And while the interference seems to be relatively sharp, so that those interference signals are not that wide, it actually has a huge impact on performance. So when I open the connectivity view, I can see that actually all the channels from 2 to 11 are 100% utilized because of the interference source. So again, you can use the analyzer to find the source of interference. In this case, I located it quite quickly. I disabled it, and now you can see the network performance reducing back to normal because we got rid of the interference. So this was the 4-minute story on how I troubleshooted 3 cases. I first started by looking at the channel quality, then I looked at the connectivity of the network, and finally, I used the device and the application to locate some interference in the network. And if you are interested in finding out what was actually the cause of the interference, it was actually an audio-visual transmitter like this. You use to transmit video signal from one source to another without wires. So it was actually Mikko watching Netflix or some other videos in his own room. So the device and Mikko's channels are blocked now in the office, and it's all getting better already. We're getting some positive feedback on that.
Hey, we all do that, man.
That was all in the nature of testing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Real world examples for sure.
Yes, and this is a true story. You can believe me.
Like always.
I'm not kidding at all.
All right. Hey, let's talk about the features a
Yeah,
bit.
let's
So,
do that.
So yeah, the Analyzer app has several different views. So let's start with the single strength view. So the single strength view gives you instant access to all your network details, and on top of the list, we highlight your network's access points, which allows you to analyze the primary coverage and also the secondary coverage of your network for roaming and redundancy purposes. And then for further details, just tap on the access point and you get to see more details about your access point. The detailed AP view is shown on the right hand side screen capture. And what's really useful with this view is that you can actually use it to locate and identify rogue or other unauthorized access points. So simply just kind of follow when the graph goes up, and then you're close to the AP. Then naturally we also have a signal to noise ratio view, which tells you the quality of your network. The view is very similar to the signal strength view, but with a shorter view by the strongest SNR. Next slide, Stu. All right, the channel quality. So the channel quality view is very useful to understand the health of your Wi-Fi channels. For example, you can see which channels are overutilized, or if there's lots of noise present, or if there are any configuration errors. The channel quality view measures the number of SSIDs to understand if there's lots of unnecessary management overhead from the SSIDs or from the beacons, eating up the airtime from data transmissions. Then we also display how many radios there's on the same channel, so CCI, and what's the noise, and also what's the utilization on the channel at the moment. And we always highlight on top of the list the channel that you're currently associated with. So on the left-hand side screen capture, we are associated on channel 6, and there's 18 SSIDs present, so lots of management overhead, 10 APs on the same channel. So, and the noise is very high, -84. So please remember, wherever you see red, that's a problem. Green is good, red is bad. Next slide, please. All right, then the connectivity and spectrum view. So the connectivity view measures the ping against the default gateway, or if that's not available, we ping against Google. Now, there's been already questions that can you change that ping destination on the first version? Unfortunately, you cannot, but that's going to be changing a bit later. The ping measurements are always done with the client device itself, so with your iPhone or with your iPad. Now, the actual RSSI measurements are always done with the Ekahau Sidekick. Why is that? We can't really get any actual RSSI measurements from the device itself. The only information we get from the iPhone is the associated PSSID and the channel. We then use that information and to understand that we use that information and get the signal strength and other information from Sidekick, so that we know that what's the quality of your current connection. Then in addition to the current association, we also measure the potential roaming candidates. And we display the three strongest access points available on that location, sorting the strongest on top. Then we also display the history, how the client has been roaming. The values you see in the history are what they were at the time of the exit. So for example, on the left-hand side picture at the bottom of the screen, you see that the previous AP your client was associated with was the signal strength for that AP was next 70. Then finally, we also have the spectrum analysis view with the view, we analyze both bands simultaneously. So this is actually pretty useful. There's nobody other who can do that. But when you need to locate and identify interference sources, just rotate your device to landscape mode, and it will display one band at a time, and then which allows you to see more details about the spectrum. All right, next slide, and back to you, Anssi.
Okay. It's an exciting app, huh? It's good to see so many questions on the chat board about the availability of the app. So we've been working really hard on this. The entire team has been really pushing it, and now really the first version is available already today. So if you go into App Store and you have a Connect subscription, you can download it immediately. Stu, can you please click the next slide, please? Okay, so no, not this one. Sorry, the previous.
Oh yeah, it'll come back there. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, just to wrap it up before we go more into Q&A and before we go more into demos, just to wrap it up. So what is it? So it's an application we have built really to ease up and speed up the validation and testing of Wi-Fi networks. And it's basically using the existing device, iPhone, iPad. But it also, the key point of the equation is the Sidekick that I mentioned earlier. So it really is the most accurate measurement device out there. And in this case, the accuracy also matters, because you could do collect the measurements with many different ways. There are some USB dongles, or you could even use a mobile phone to measure the strength of the Wi-Fi. But the thing really is that they give you different kind of results and different conditions. So in this case, when you are analyzing the quality of the network and you're testing and validating it, you really want to base that on the most accurate measurements there are. So that's why we can't recommend really any other way of collecting those measurements than the Sidekick. So in this case, like mentioned and like shown in that quick demo, we are doing a constant auto test. We are showing in a very clear manner on which parts are passing and which parts are failing. So it's like Mikko said, green is good, red is bad. And if you want to troubleshoot further, you always click red. And what it does really is that this enables and makes it easier to troubleshoot at every location. And with this, you can improve the quality of the networks, and you can minimize the downtime by doing preventive actions. So that's it. That's really the part we were hoping and planning to show to you today. So now I guess we can open the floor for Q&A and go through some feedback we have received through the channels.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's amazing. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That's a great introduction to the new tool in the actual Ekahau Connect toolset. I mean, this is actually quite kind of amazing, simple, easy to use tool to get what you need out of what's going on in your network.
Right.
So we've got definitely some questions queued up on the Q&A, and I see one that's really up on the top there. How about this, Tani? There's a really good one here that I think that is nice. This is called my question today is, say products like Cisco Meraki already have these type of troubleshooting features included in part of their cloud portal. How will it benefit from this analyzer? Just curious to how it'll fit, be a good fit for us. I think if you guys don't mind me saying, I mean, I think that yes, definitely that they do have a very limited kind of view of what is going on in your network, but when you look at you need to pinpoint something with the accuracy of exactly where it is in your network, in that little corner office or closet or something like that's happening, or maybe it's in a comm room. A lot of times we don't have AP coverage, and we're trying to, on the AP side, we're trying to trilaterate where that might be, right? And you may not see it, and from where the client's point of view is. And so that's where tools such as the analyzer are going to be able to kind of help you pinpoint exactly where I'm standing. How is the network where I am at this moment in time? I think, wouldn't you not agree?
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, you asked me a yes or no question. You're going to get a yes or no answer.
No, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's open for comment, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know there's other products out there that have that are built into the cloud portal, but nothing that gives you that quick and easy response time, right? Instead of breaking out the notebook and logging into the portals, trying to figure out what's going on. This is where you can actually just use your iPad, your iOS device, and then find that stuff right away, right?
Right, exactly. And there's a lot of questions also, speaking of that, just quickly connecting your device, a lot of questions surrounding what do I need? It's the Apple Lightning USB connect piece. You use this to plug it into the Sidekick cord and then Sidekick to your phone. So
I think Apple actually calls it camera adapter.
Yeah, the camera adapter, Apple Lightning to camera adapter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's actually two styles. So they even have the USB-C version as well. So if you're using an iPad Pro that has the C version, you can also get the same cable that goes into USB-C. So
yes, and to clarify, yes, you do need a Sidekick. You do have to have it connected to your Sidekick in order to work. I know that question has come up a lot. So yes, Sidekick is required to utilize the app. So, and a lot of questions obviously surrounding Android, second half of the year. Maybe Ansi and Mikko can give us a sneak peek and share, but right now, second half of the year. Ansi, Mikko, is that correct?
Don't say the year.
Just for the month.
Or the other half, whatever.
Yeah, it is coming. It's just not ready today.
No, that's correct. So we are not ready to announce the exact date on that, but yeah, towards the end of the year is specific enough at this point. Yeah, we're working on it and it's coming.
Yeah. Also, a lot of questions surrounding what are the predefined requirements that it's testing against? Can we change the signal strength? Can we adjust the RSSI? Obviously, or the signal to noise ratio, can we change those? So the answer to that is not right now, but on Mikko, that is coming, that we will have additional profiles available and possibly being able to define your own.
Right. So Remember, folks, this is the first version that we really wanted to bring to the market as fast as we can. So in this case, the requirements are still hard coded. So it's basically the same requirement set. Now we intend to bring the same requirements as we have in Pro already. So different manufacturers standards and also our own requirement set. And Mikko, what about the custom requirements? Are we supporting that as well?
So yeah, so right at the moment we don't support customization of the requirements, but that's definitely something for the next versions.
Right.
Which
Right.
exactly difficult question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. Yeah. Avoiding that question.
Right.
But it's definitely coming. We need it.
It's coming in next version.
We're not putting you on the spot.
Yeah,
No. There's no commitment today. Yeah.
Nico knows how I work.
Yes, there's definitely an app for that, for sure. Yeah. And that's really important to know, is that there are things we're working on it for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that is really great about our product team and our R&D and our developers, is that we're constantly listening to feedback. We're constantly adding new features, things to enhance it and make it better. And so that's one of the things that, this is not the stop end right here. We're going to continue to innovate, and we're going to continue to advance the products and add additional features.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what, your Q&A questions, we take those very seriously, and we always look back at them and figure, hey, this is what, our customers are talking about. And when we do webinars, we interact as much as we can with you folks out there. And so keep those questions coming, right? And that's where, we've also got, we always take those questions as well. And I'm waiting for the slides to change. It's a little bit of delay today, but yeah, if you want to reach out to any of us, please do. Right? We're always listening, and we're always looking for new ways to enhance the product line as well. So, but our team in Helsinki does a very good job of that, and I got to say hats off to them. Although I can't quite take my hat off as fast with my headset on. All right, so for questions, there's one up here that's getting. Sorry, what's that?
I was going to say, so I had a question, Ansi. We've had a couple questions about the Cisco Live story you shared with us. Can you talk a little more about the interference that came in? Like, how did you identify the interference, and were you able to identify actually what the interference was?
So, okay. So in this case, first of all, you can use the Sidekick and the Analyzer application combination to locate the interference. Mm-hmm. So basically, how that happens is that although Sidekick is measuring from all directions, if you block it from 3 sides and point one side, you can actually use it more or less to scan the environment. So when you turn around, you can actually point the direction, and then you can use the application screens to see when you're getting close to it. So you can use the same method to locate the sources of interference, but you're going to use the same method also for locating access points.
Okay.
Right. Cool. So that would be the first way, and the easiest way to really block the signal, the antennas from the Sidekick, is that you basically press it against your chest. So your own body has some attenuation. So basically, you would see the signals on the opposite side much stronger than through your chest. Right?
And we know from the ECSU design class, the human body has about 3 dB of loss.
Depends on a body, yeah.
Depends on the body, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm a little bit more.
or Hulk Hogan, but okay. The second question is that can you recognize the source of the interference? So unfortunately not in this first version. So you see only the interference and all of the RF traffic in there. But again, like said, in the next versions, we are supporting also the automated detection of the type of the interference. So you may have seen, many of you have already seen that we have this built into Pro. Mm-hmm. So when you connect Sidekick into Pro, you can actually, it automatically detects many different kind of sources of interference. And we're actually working on the next generation of that identification algorithm to actually make it more accurate and more adjustable. So, and that's what we will bring to the analyzer as well.
Very cool. Another couple questions coming through related to the connectivity piece. You have to be connected to a particular SSID, and it's going to test against that SSID, correct?
That's correct.
Correct, yes.
So it's
collecting that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's collecting that directly from the device. And so right now, if you want to change the SSID or if you want to change the network to which you are connected, you have to do through that the settings of the device.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the later version, of course, even that is going to be possible to change.
Right.
Very cool. Let's see. We've got a couple other questions. Some of the folks have asked, is this going to be covered in the ECSC troubleshooting course? We anticipate that will be coming, but as it stands today, since we just launched today, it's obviously not in the course yet. So stay tuned for more details on that about troubleshooting, but definitely something that we will work with the trainers on.
Yeah, and as now that it is a public launch announcement, then the trainers are now already up to speed as well. So they're well aware of the product as well. So they know they can help you answer those questions as well in class.
Yeah.
For those that are taking the class maybe this week or next week, you're in good hands for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. This is really good. So we've got, which one, do we want to get a couple more questions in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've still got some time. I think we did really well on our time today. So this is amazing. We got this one here. It seems to be kind of the largest topic here, and it's and I don't know how much that we can talk about it, but maybe we can kind of talk a little bit with you, gents. And the one comes here from Peter Rock, and it's the recent reports indicate that the FCC is considering opening up the 6 gig band just above currently used 5 gig. This is a very long question here, but to use called Wi-Fi 6E. What steps does Ekahau taken to extend the life of the Sidekick so it can operate outside of that? I think that's more of a stay tuned, but not sure how we could give you a definitive answer today. Ansi and Miko? I think it's 6 gig. I mean, it is fairly new, and everyone's just kind of getting on board with that. But it might be on mute there. I think.
You want to give it a try?
Not really.
It's a tough question.
We can always say stay tuned.
He's brutally honest, isn't he?
Yeah. Just being honest. So, sure, 6 gig. Obviously, we gotta do something with that.
Yeah.
We don't like to go into details, but it's pretty obvious that we need to do something with 6 gig.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that the team is very well aware of 6 gig for sure.
Yeah. Short answer is that no, we don't support it today.
Not today. In the future, when
of course we will, but again the date is fluctuating at the moment.
All right.
This question from Dan Jones: can we run this and the survey app at the same time? So good question. Unfortunately, that's not possible. To my knowledge, iOS is as operating system isn't that good to run multiple applications simultaneously. Then on the other hand, that would be 2 connections open to Ekahau Sidekick. That's never a good idea. So we support only 1 application connecting the Sidekick at a time.
Just to understand the use case, why would you run them both at the same time? Because of the auto test, or?
I believe to be able to understand, yes, the auto testing, how the requirements are are acting at the same time, or if you're just doing site survey, kind of quickly talking between the two applications.
Okay, so you want to create a heat map and do the auto test on one go. Okay. Yeah, so that's something to think about. No, we haven't. We're not supported right now, but that's something.
We don't. Yeah. Question from anonymous attendee.
Okay.
Oh.
Is that a competitor?
I don't know. Will Ekahau develop a packet capture feature for Sidekick? Yeah, so first of all, we do actually have Ekahau capture application, which you can use to capture packets with Sidekicks. But then if you think about this a bit further, Ekahau Analyzer, wouldn't it be pretty cool to be able to do some sort of packet capture and analysis with an analyzer tool? Just gonna leave it here. Just something to think about.
So are we saying that might be a future product release, a future app upgrade? Are we?
No comment.
Inside?
No comment.
Is that a secret?
You see, this is why I love having Mikko and Anssi on, is because there's always some hint of something going on, right? A hint of what's in store for us and our customers.
I'm pretty sure that Mikko wrote this question by himself.
That's what anonymous attendee.
That's why it says anonymous attendee, right?
Nice.
No, that's really cool, actually, and that's showing that there's a lot more in store for our customers within the apps on in Ekahau Connect.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was going to say there's been a couple questions about the availability also. So if you have an iPhone 6S or newer, it will operate with that. If you have an iPhone 5, generation 5, it's not compatible with the iPhone 5. So you need minimum iOS 12 or newer to operate the Analyzer app, and iPhone 6S or newer as well on that.
And I've seen a bunch of questions here asking that people can't see it in the App Store. So just to address that, it probably takes a while before it propagates around the world to different app stores, to different local app stores. So we published the first version already 20 hours ago. So it should have reached already most parts of the world, but not necessarily all of them. So yeah, it will be there in next few hours. I think more or less in 24 hours it should be done all around the world.
If it's not, please reach out to us. Let us know. So Anssi and Mikko can look into that and see what we need to do, just might be some fluke situation. So let us know.
Right.
We're just gonna hand it
there's
over.
many.
Yeah.
There's many app stores around the world, so there's that have different times of when apps get published. So it's per country. So yeah, so stay tuned, folks. You will see it in there along with our other app, which is the Ekahau Survey, which is also on the App Store as well.
Hey, let's take this question. So Richard is asking that, is this included with Ekahau Connect or there is an additional cost? Stu, Tony, so how is it?
Stu, I'll let you take that one.
Is that this is the cable? I think that's what.
This cable as an additional cost?
No, the Ekahau Analyzer.
Oh. Yeah. So, Stu, I will let you answer that one.
I think that I think I've got that right. It kind of broke up there on the question. If I can find it, was there any additional cost? No, that was I think that's what the question was.
Yeah.
The Ekahau Analyzer is included in your Ekahau Connect package. So if you are a Ekahau Connect subscriber today, then this is already available to you with your user ID. So once you download the app, you'll be able to sign in with your user ID, connect your trusty Sidekick, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, we've had that question a lot. Ekahau's goal is to build a complete suite of tools that help you manage every aspect of your job, from designing, planning, analyzing, troubleshooting, validating your network. And so the Connect subscription is what is the Analyzer is included as part of that, because it's all about the tools, and it's all about the tools that you need to be able to do your job. And so that's what we're doing here, is trying to develop tools that allow you to manage all of the different things that network and Wi-Fi professionals have to do.
Right, and that's part of our life cycle, right? So as we talk about the life cycle of designing your network and troubleshooting your network, that's where we want to build a toolkit that, as we're building a toolkit to go out, we've got everything we need. We don't need to worry about adding an additional piece, adding that. It's, I've got my tool bag, I'm ready to go. Today I might need to use the analyzer. Tomorrow I'll use a survey, and then when I get back to base, I'll be using the Pro to do some more in-depth analysis and troubleshooting. So each of those tools plays a part in that whole life cycle, right? And you'd be surprised. It's just like in you know, it's you may use both all on the same hour, right? Or all of our tools in the same hour, right? And so it's that's where you want to make sure you've got a toolkit. Everyone is prepared. Everyone is ready to go.
Yeah. Hey, Stu, can you put the slide with the contact information up there? Because a couple folks are asking about.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry about that.
Contact information and some where to buy or information in that regard. Also,
Yes.
folks, if you have a question on the specific requirements, what is needed for your device to be compatible with Analyzer, if you visit our website, Ekahau, www.ekahau.com/analyzer, it will have the requirements, and we have it listed out on the data sheet, and then in the web there for you as well. So you have a specific question about your device, we do have it listed there.
All right. I think we're close to a closeout here. And I think we covered anything else in the thank you, Grant, you're over in the behind the scenes with Abhishek. Is there anything else that's been pressing there that you guys see that we should have our product team address before we close it out?
I think we've hit most of the questions. A lot of the questions.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, filtering in are a lot of duplicates about do I need a Sidekick? Is it compatible with Android yet? So a lot of that is some duplication.
Yep.
So
I
think,
and definitely. So and folks, if you've missed the first half of the webinar, don't worry. It will be published on our YouTube channel. So please go out and subscribe to our Ekahau YouTube channel, and you will find all of our past webinars and product releases on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to kind of replay to your heart's content. So don't worry. And I'd like to thank our guests that came on and were joining us from all time zones around the world. And I know that many of you are joining us from all around the world as well. And I want to thank you very much for joining us today. And there we have it.
And a big thank you to Ansi and Miko and Tomi and the rest of the team for the hard work that they're doing for us over in Helsinki.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Launch days are always exciting.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, folks.
Thanks a lot, folks.
Okay. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And we shall stop the recording.